Hey all, whoa, there's a small little earthquake. Just kidding. Whenever I push that thing, it just wobbles like that, you know. Anyway, I'm happy to see all of you. We're back for part 2. Look, I'm left eye dominant. You'll know what that is, you'll laugh. Anyway, I'm here because it's part 2. We're going into straight edge, not straight edge, fixed blade knives. I may have said that wrong last time. And I think we'll start with some of the bigger ones. We have your more either hunting related or combat related. And in fixed blades, there's usually full tang and or not full tang, of course, partial tang. And that means that how far the steel goes into the handle of the knife. It's always better to try and find one that goes all the way to the edge of the handle. There's more strength in that. But it doesn't mean that if it doesn't, that it's necessarily a bad knife. And I'll show you some options of those. One, Cold Steel. If you're out getting Christmas presents and things like that, Cold Steel is a great company to look up on the internet, or if you're out and about getting knives at your local surplus store, things like that. But on the internet, they're going to be very affordable. They're often having sales. They make a great product. You know, it's not 100% top of the line, but it's pretty darn good for the money. They have great steel, great blades, great edges. They're strong. They actually have videos on there showing you the tests of those steel. This is one of them. This is the OSS. This one's actually made for pig hunting, so it has a little, see where that finger thing is right there? That's so you can get a good grip and not slip off of the knife, because if you're going after a pig and trying to get him with just this, you don't want to lose control of this, because if you lose control of this, I guarantee you his teeth are going to give you a new butthole. That's right, I said it, a new butthole. Okay, so that being said, this is the Cold Steel OSS. It's got a great rubber grip on it. They do make a wood handle version of this. It's more money, so I always like to look for the budgets. The blade's still the same. It's double-edged. It is sharp from here to here on one side and there on the other. This is meant for sticking a pig and getting in there to where he's not going to want to bite and chew you a new one and getting out of there. So that's why it's long like it is. Be sure to please check your state laws on lengths of knives. Even in folding knives, believe it or not, there are some states that don't allow over a 5-inch blade. Some of them 3.5, I've heard. So please definitely check your local areas for what your knife laws are. You know, I'm not advising you to carry anything in areas. That's up to you to do. But I will share with you things that I find that be good. This is pretty much a full tang. The tang goes all the way back to this lanyard point right there. It doesn't come back showing through the edge, but it's pretty much there. It's not a full tang as far as full width of the blade, because you can't see it coming out. It's an insert. Some may call it a rat tail, but anyway, that may be regional too. But this is a great knife. It's not expensive. I want to say this thing was maybe around $50, $60. They always have great sheaths with their stuff that they always clip into, hold the knife real well. It's a great knife. Now, your other knives that I like is you have your, this is of course just a K Bar, Marine style USMC K Bar, made in Olean, New York. It's got a great blade, great thickness. You know, this one's about, just over 1/8 inch thick. It is a full tang. It's not a full tang as full width tang, but it is a rat tail that goes all the way through. To see that little there? That's the other side of the blade sticking through that cap, the end cap. It's got a leather handle with grooves cut in it in order to for grip. Now, sometimes these can weather over time. To me, they just become more grippable, but they can get slick and snotty in the wet weather. That's why they put them grooves in there. This is a great, in a sense, fighting style knives, they like to call them, but this is a, you know, a good combat knife. This one is not made, however, to go on a firearm. Otherwise, it would be a bayonet. It has a straight edge, and it is not a drop point. So, they usually come with a nice leather case. Some of them, of course, they run sales on this one, especially. I think this was $69 on sale. So they do also make them with Kydex holsters and Tano blades. I mean, the sky's the limit in selection in most cases. Of course, like I said, you got to have a bottle opener. This one also has a little crowbar for nails. The reason I put this on there is I thought that would actually be kind of handy. If you needed to get into some place that was nailed down, you could actually dig in there and start removing nails. And just so you know, I did actually try it. And it does actually work. It's not quick, but it does work. So, and I put a braid on there, of course, because you can never have too much 550 cord, especially if it is like this one, which is the, what do they call that? The Titan survival cord. This has like fishing line in it, a fire starter. It has snare wire, and then it has all of its strands. I think there's something else I'm missing. I'll do another video on that. But it's great cord, because if you had to take it apart and break it down for survival, you could have a lot of uses for it. I think there's fishing line in there. That's right, there's fishing line in there. Okay, and so then this is a classic buck knife. You've seen it in every horror movie. Rink, 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 rink. Right? I know you know what I'm talking about. You know, the and if Jason comes up behind me, I can see him on the screen. I'm gonna stick his ass. That's right, I stick his ass. Stupid Jason. Or Michael Myers, he's the scary one, because that guy just comes out of the lake and just, oh, shoes it, boy. Anyway, I like this. It's got that nice ebony handle. It is another rat tail knife. It's not, you know, it goes into the end cap and is fixed. They consider it a full tang, but it's not what I consider an absolute full tang. I'll show you one of those in a minute. These guys, inexpensive, about, you know, you can find them on sale, $49.99. Great edge, great steel, built in the USA. This is 119.1. I believe that's the steel. But like I say, it's a buck made in the USA. I love this knife. It's got a classic look. It's got a great holster, just a nice leather snap holster. This is great to, you know, hold and carry in camp. Now, here's a knife that actually is on one of my search and rescue belts. It has, as you can see on the holster, this one is made to carry. You can put a sharpening stone in there if you wanted to. You could put a spare magazine in there if you wanted to. It has straps that are Molly style straps on there. I put, well, it actually had a little rope on there. So that's actually a, you know, you could use that. That's an extra shoestring in case you blow a shoestring. And this is actually made by K Bar as well. So it's all USA made. This is the Adventure series, or adventure knife. It's 5604 steel. Now this is what I consider a full tang. If you look at that, you'll see the metal go all the way through. It's shaped with the handle, so that blade just comes all the way through. It's one piece. They put the scales on it and clamp it down. This has got a nice gripped scale. As you can see, it's nice and textured there. I love this knife because you can get behind it. There's a little place there for pressure, so when you're cutting things, this is great for just like, you can get on a piece of leather even and cut right through it. You got to cut a rope, you got to carve something for survival. This is a great knife, and that's why I have it in my search and rescue bag. It's easy to find because I have a habit of sticking stuff down and not seeing it. So if it's camo, I might lose it, including my rifle. Yes, sirree, including my rifle. So that being said, the other nice part about this blade is I love this Saxon style blade. You can also take it and put your finger on there. There's some serrations on there to really bite in there so you don't slip off and cut yourself. But it's a great knife to hold like this so you can work stuff like this, cut things. I mean, this is a great, great knife. Not that expensive, right around that $60 to $80 range, depending on if it's on sale. Has an absolutely wonderful you know, canvas type style holster. Would go great on a gun belt or a bug out bag. Great knife for that. Okay, so this is what I consider my bushcraft style knife. This one I got from a local crafter. It's kind of a, it's a Damascus steel. As you can see, the swirls in that. I don't know if that'll pick it up. There you go. You can see the swirls in that knife from the many layers from pounding it over. I just love the look of Damascus steel. They may not be, I mean, they hold a great edge too as well if it's done right. I love this knife because it is a full tang as well, all the way through to the butt. And it's got this one, I think, if I remember right, that's like ox horn or something like that handle. You know, and it's got the nice brass pegs through there for holding it together. Now, the nice thing about this knife is one, with this style blade, is great for skinning. It would have been nice if that point would have been dropped down a little bit, in my opinion, but it's not that big a deal. You just put your finger underneath there and you can open up your game for cleaning it. But this part right here, I really like. I wish I had a bigger one of these, and when I find one, I want one that's about like that long. And the reason being is so I can have a bigger area right here. This is for batoning. You can put that on wood to split it down into tinder, so that you are in kindling, so that you can start a fire. This would be a great knife to have in a survival pack. And that's the reason it's, you know, it's bowed down right there, so you can put your finger into it as well, like that, or your thumb like that. Or for batoning, you get your piece of wood like this and you just take another stick and hit it down into here and drive it forward. That way you're batoning on this, it's keeping it between these 2 points, so it doesn't slip out, and you're also keeping this edge good so that you can use it for things you need other sharpness for. So, and I love the way this handle drops down like this, so that it kind of gives you a little bit more leverage on things. This is just a really great knife. If you keep an eye out for those, usually these crafting guys will build a nice holster for it. So, you know, you want to keep your Damascus oiled real well, because sometimes they can rust. This is another one. This is what I consider a skinning type knife. It's got a small handle. It's also full tang all the way through. See it, full thickness. And it's Damascus as well. Same guy who made the other ones. But yeah, I love it because it's got the serrations on the top. It's got a little bit of a bend to it, so for leverage. And it's great for skinning. This is a good skinning knife. So that's what I use this one for. Anyway, let's see. Oop. Almost cut myself. All right, so next we're going to get into fixed blade, not full tang. That would be like this. This is a great knife made by Cold Steel. Like I said, they make great knives. This is what they call their survival edge. This is a great present for somebody. No, it is not full tang because this handle is hollow. So it's not something you want to put a lot of prying, you know, on or batoning to. But for your all-around survival, it's got a wicked sharp blade. It is made out of, well, the blade's made in Taiwan, but it's a German 4116 steel. Like I said, it holds a great edge. It's corrosion resistant. It doesn't go a lot into the handle with its tang, but it does have guards there to keep your hands from slipping over it. But I love the fact that it has this, snap-in Kydex holster, or plastic holster. I mean, it might not be Kydex, but that can just clip on and clip off fast. I use this for when I go camping with the kids and things like that. So I've kind of EDC'd it out here. There's a little fire starter that comes with this as well. A little ferro rod set up there so you can strike ferro rod it. It's got now that's what it comes with, but I put a little whistle and a little tiny flashlight, as well as one of these monkey fists. So that's just a handy way to have cordage. I also put a little, if you just go down and get yourself some little saw blades and drill a little hole into the edge of it, these little jigsaw blades, these work great for striking your ferro rod, as well as cutting. Say you want to use this for an escape and evade bag. These little blades, believe it or not, will get you out of somewhere. It'll take forever, but you've got nothing but time when you're locked up. So that being said, in the handle, of course, it has, I put a little bit of Velcro on there. So one of those lights actually Velcros onto the top, so I can hold the knife like this and push the light. That's a little rip curl tip there. That's real handy, but it has a compass. Now, granted, it's just a cheap little compass, but something's better than nothing. It's got snare wire in here. It's got fishing line, fishing hooks, fishing weights. I've put medicine in here. I put a couple 22 rounds in there. There's band-aids and fire starters and all that kind of stuff crammed in there. And I'm not going to take it out. I might do that in another video, but this right here, it comes with most of that stuff, but then you can dress it up with, like, I put more stormproof matches in there and other things like that. So, and it all fits under this cap right here that seals off waterproof like. Great survival knife right there. And cheap. Like, like cheap, like under 20 bucks, I think, cheap, or right around 20 bucks. Wicked cheap. This is another knife that's right in that range. I think it was under $20 maybe, or right about that $20 mark. This is also by Cold Steel. It is a partial Tang. It doesn't go all the way through. It's super light. I love these little holsters right here that just clip on right here. See that? Clips onto your belt real quick. I can just throw this on if I'm just going outside to do some chores. Snap this thing on if I want a full length knife. You know, it won't take a real big beating, but this is a pretty good utility style knife. I think they call, I figure out what they call this style blade. But this shape blade and stuff, I think overseas is a, yeah, okay, so this is a Canadian belt knife. And so it has little serrations there so you can get your thumb onto it, because it doesn't have a stop for your hand to keep it from slipping over. So you can get your thumb on there and a good grip so that you can carve things. This is made for carving and cutting things. So this is great to take out camping with your kids, that kind of stuff. Great knife. The steel is, again, a German 4116 blade. So those are fixed blade, not full Tang knives. The next style knives you guys could think about are auto openers or automatic knives. Check again your local areas to make sure that they're legal to have in your area, because some places aren't, and make sure to check what's legal as far as the size wise, length of blade. But I've got a few different models of these. I really like this company. This is one of my EDCs. As you can tell, the steels all wore, the colors all wore off of it. This is one of my EDC knives I carry because it's easy deployment. In fact, it even has lint on it. But I keep it good and oiled, not like that. It has, you can see that little blood groove in the center. That's, you know, because sometimes when you stick your knife into things, it has a little bit of suction in there. And this aids in that to relieve that, as well, to make it go in faster and easier, as well as allow fluids to drain out. This one is double-edged on both sides. They're sharp, so it's got more of a dagger style blade. It's got rope serrations for each side, which I've used to cut rope. This is just one of those handy knives that if you just need to cut something real quick, or open something real quick, or protect yourself real quick, you can grab it out, push it out like that. Now, one thing to remember with these is don't think that this thing is going to push up against something and shoot out and go right into it. It doesn't work that way. In fact, it won't even lock forward. This is just something that's meant for fast deployment. It's also got a glass breaker on the back, but this is something I, just carry for quick deployment and use. They're not meant for prying on things or anything like that. These are just mainly meant for cutting and sticking. And they're just really handy. This company is, I like it because for the price, it's less than a Benchmade, but in my opinion, it's better built than a Benchmade when it comes to auto openers. This is a Microtech. Right here, this model is the Combat Tribune in double-edged. And with this company, you can order all kinds of different blade styles and colors and everything else. So really cool company. They got great customer service. Here's another one that's kind of like it. This is a special edition model. When we're talking about collector's knives, sometimes you can look into these special edition models. This one right here is a USN G8 and or G7, excuse me. It's a G7, and it was number 2015. This was kind of a special knife that somebody kind of got me in the door to get these in the first runs. It's got a double-edged tonneau blade with the little suction blood groove there. It's sharp on one side, serrated on the other. This is a lot smaller, as you can see, than this one. So it's skinnier, thinner. It's nice and easy to carry. I don't really carry this one because it's more of a collector's knife, but I do use it. I believe in using everything, collector or not. But it's a nice little knife. Again, Microtech, great company. I've just had nothing but great luck with their stuff. Other auto openers will be, well, for instance, like Benchmade. Of course, my very first auto opener was this. I got it as a Christmas present. I love it. As you can see, it's just not as fast and as hard an opener as the other ones. It doesn't mean it's any less good. It's a double-edged blade, stainless steel. It's Benchmade, so you know the warranty on Benchmade. Everything's taken care of. This is the Infidel. I think that's kind of a humorous name. This was their first out of the box, I believe, auto opener. This line. It's special to me because it was gotten to me as a gift. So that's an auto opener there. Now, another version of an auto opener. This is made by Microtech as well. Now this one's a little different. This one doesn't go in and out automatically. This is only an out automatic knife. This is more of a defense combat style type of little blade. It's not meant for heavy work like a combat knife per se, but this is a nice quick knife for cutting ropes or things like that where you need quick deployment. It is a push button instead of a forward and back trigger. It comes with a nice Kydex holster that has a nice, one of the nice style clips on it. So you can put that on your belt. It holds it sideways because it is a little bit longer of a knife, as you can see. This one is let's see if it says the name on it. I forget what they call this one, but if you look it up, it's their big model. And you'll know it because when you open it, as you can see, it really comes out. Almost seems like a sword, doesn't it? It's got a tonneau blade. It's just single-edged. Has a groove in there down the center, but it doesn't go back. In order to take it back, you have to push the button and pull it back and let the button go, and it locks, and now you're set again. The reason for this is it has a really positive, hard outward stroke on it. It's made to open fast, secure, and it gives you more leverage because the handle's bigger. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool knife. Again, it's made by Microtech, and it has a great holster that goes with it. I call it a holster because it's more like a holster than it is a sheath, the way it clips in. So the next knives I would say would be your kind of your specialty knives that are for a certain purpose. Say purpose-driven knives. You have things like the Benchmade boot knife, fairly inexpensive, but for just a piece of steel that's a spike, basically, kind of expensive. This is something you could put on your vest, your pack, in your boot, like it's supposed to be. It has a clip for your pocket, and it's just meant to be pulled out, and it has a ring on there, so you can put a finger in that if you wanted to. It's just meant for poking and cutting, and that's about it. That's a boot style knife made by Benchmade. I think they call it it's Greg Thompson's SOCP. So that's a great knife. Specific design, that's basically your boot knife, basically, of course, for defense. Then you have things like this, which is, SHTF. You ain't gonna have power for your electric shaver, and you eventually might not be able to find razors, so you might have to go back and relearn how to... Anyway, this is a straight razor made by that same craftsman. I think it has I think that might be mammoth tooth or something like that, a handle on it with some bird's eye something, maple or something like that. It's got a Damascus blade, really sharp. I also have the old style belts where you to make them sharp. This is something you should try and should practice on. Get a balloon, see if you can shave it without popping it. I dare you. People who cut your hair have to do this in order to pass their certification, I believe, if I remember right. And this is a good skill to learn, because if SHTF happens, we're back to this at some point, unless it relieves sooner than later. Let's see. Next would be, I believe people call these push knives. And these are ones you want to be sure, again, to make sure they're legal in your state. They have a holster like this, of course. You can wear them as a necklace, is the idea. You just pull it out, and it's made to push through things. So people call them a push knife. It's serrated on one side, sharp on the other, because I believe in utility as well. That's a good little self-defense thing to help give you it's considered maybe a force multiplier. As you can see, very handy, never comes out of there until you want it to. has a rubber grip. This is made by Cold Steel. These are really inexpensive. I think under $20, maybe at the $20 mark, something like that. So that's one. This is an interesting little knife. This is definitely a must for your escape and evade bag. It has a push pin on one side for working handcuffs and other things. You can also flip that around, and it's a glass breaker. And it also has this little blade for cutting rope and things like that. Something you can really keep in your hand and work, you know, kind of work like this. Cut my wrist. Anyway, that's what that little blade's for. And then also with that little blade, you can fold that back in. And this is why I consider it for my escape and evade bag, is on the back side here, you have a handcuff key. And if you don't have a hide a handcuff key, and I'm not saying that this for police reasons, but if you don't have a handcuff key, you should. And there are ones that are made out of plastic, so they don't come up on metal detectors, and they just clip inside of anything, like your lining of anything. They're tiny, they're no bigger than that. You know, right there, there's a little plastic piece, but this one's actually part of this knife. That's why I say this is a great knife for escape and evade. Also gives you a little spike that you can deploy like that too, for, you know, self-defense situations. But handy little knife, can be worked with one hand real easy, break glass, everything else, cut seatbelts, get out of handcuffs. Great knife for that. This one is made by Boker. That's a well-known company. You can find them on there. Be sure to get the one with the handcuff key. They make a model without. You want the one with the handcuff key. Again, not so expensive, but for what it is, it seems small, so it seems expensive, but for what it does, it's really not. It's a great choice. Now, this is just kind of a little goofy, but, you know, I kind of liked it because it's another stealthy way to do it. You, of course, have your cordage, which means you have your survival cordage. But when you clip it like this and unclip it, it has a little knife. That's part of the clip. It feeds back in there. See, just like that. They have different models of this now that have a compass on here as well as a whistle and everything else, and a little blade. But this one, it was kind of cute. It's got the little, I thought that was weird. It has the little, I don't know if you can see that, but that's like the transformer signal. Kind of weird. But you can wear this around your wrist. It doesn't really get noticed all that much. And if you clip it back into that, you kind of make it into a little handle, as you can see. So you can cut things better or defend yourself better, that kind of thing. Plus the cordage is there for emergency situations. So that's another specialty item. It's kind of interesting. If you look on the internet, you can find these. Just put in a survival bracelet with knife and they'll come up, trust me. Okay, so we'll get towards the last things. Collecting, one other thing, karambits. Karambits are a curved style knife like this. They're meant to be used like this. There's a great guy, Doug Marchetta, who will have videos and stuff on how to use these. He has classes you can take. They're really great. Kind of get you the techniques of being able to use these. This is a knife meant for, not like this. It's not really meant for any other practical reason than slashing and cutting, and for manipulation. You can wrap around somebody's arm like this, hook them around, and take them the direction you want them to go. And because they're getting cut or poked, they're going to want to move with you. This is a great tool for using in that way to get people to move the direction you want them to move. This one's double-edged, so it's also meant for upstrokes and downstrokes, you know, like this and like this. This one's kind of big. The other one I'm going to show you is actually my EDC. This is a handcrafted one, but if you get onto the internet, you can find these. Just put in karambit. This is the one. This company is named Krudo, which is Krudo. They're a fairly newer knife company. This one they call the Nag. It's a reverse karambit, so it curves the other direction. And what I like about this is it has a folded out, as you can see here, you fold out a little leverage point, so that gives you leverage and control of this knife. As you see there, there's a little bump on the finger ring. Well, that's great for pressure points. You can grab somebody's arm, take them down with a pressure point, not even have to use the blade. You can also use the blade when you wrap around. This blade is great for coming back around and hooking the arm and taking them down. It also is good for, you can hook the arm like this and try and take them down, and then if they become too defensive, you can just go like that and you're right there by this area, and as you can see, it would cut real well. It's also serrated as well as straight edge. This side is not sharp because it's more for holding your opponent. You could also use it in the case to cut or skin if you wanted, but this is more of a self-defense knife. It has a clip on it. It's foldable, so it's a folding karambit. This is one of my EDCs I carry. As you can see, for manipulation of, say, an attacker, this really works well. So anyhow, look this one up. This is a great gift for somebody, and I like it again, so because of the pressure points and the leverage you can get with that. So that is a great little karambit, and it just folds up into this nice little package right there. You can slip in your pocket with the clip. And and I'll show you just one other folder. This is the Spartan from Cold Steel. As you can see, the sky's the limit on designs. If you go to Cold Steel, you'll be able to see just what they can. Of course, this is a bigger knife. It's got a really good grip on it. It's got all their stuff's really sharp. You can skin real easy with this. So anyway, I would just go take a look at Cold Steel. Like I say, this is the Spartan. It's a really great knife. They're inexpensive, but they have great blades and a great warranty. So the last thing is collectible knives. That's one thing you can look for. You can look for like this. This is a folding knife. This is an early model Benchmade that was made. I like them because they kind of shows where they came from and how they evolved into their newer stuff, and you can see where things got more refined. But this is an early knife, early serial number. So you can look for things out there like this. You'll usually find them in your gun shops or sometimes your Army surplus stores or online, of course. So that's kind of something that's special. This is the Cybert. It's M390 steel. I've used this one quite a bit actually as a user knife because it's got a great plate. It's nice and thick knife. The other collectible knives are like this one. This is made by Ratworks in combination with, I think it's, what was the name of this company? Well, Ratworks sells them, but they're also combined with Guardian, I believe it is. Guardian knives. But this is what they call the, as you can see, the shape of the blade on there. This is the 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, you know, Captain Nemo. I think they call this the Nemo. And as you can see, it's nice brass with rivet looking things. What's interesting about this is it's a chain drive auto opener, but it's an auto fold opener. It has a chain drive hook to springs. It's a really unique design. Sometimes getting something unique and different is the way to go for somebody as a present if they have everything. If it's somebody that has everything and you're wondering what to get them, things like this kind of fit that bill. As you can see, this knife blade, it's kind of looks like the Nautilus on the, see how the Nautilus submarine had those little spikes on the top of the blade. It's kind of a curved Tonto blade. It's Damascus. And as you can see, it's a chain drive auto opener. So that's kind of a neat knife. This was one of the first ones. This was a special run they have. This is more of a usable knife. I actually used this one, but I had it custom engraved. That's something you could do for your prepper, is put a little saying on there. I put whoop ass. I've got some guns that have custom serial numbers that say whoop ass on them as their serial number. So they are special to me because it makes it personal. This again is another chain opener. See, and it has a serrated blade and a flat blade. And they usually come in nice cases. This one comes in a nice zippered canvas case, and the other one is a shark skin case for the Nautilus, of course, or a stingray. I think it might be shark or stingray, but those are nice. It's for the guy who has everything, kind of thing. And then I'll show this in another video so we can wrap this one up, but these are special edition Microtex auto openers. This one, of course, take a guess. I want you guys to guess what this one's called. Take a look at it. Guess what that's called and what series it would be in the comments below. That's your challenge. That's what I want to see. So if you watch to the end of this, I'll know, because you'll put what you think this one's called, right? Think about it. Look close. What's it look like, right? See the symbol? For you geekoids out there, you'll know. See the symbol? Yeah. You tell me what that knife's called. Now I got one more. You guys want to know? You keep asking John what the best knife out there is, and the Mamu let him down. Well, I'm going to show you. Hang tight. I'm going to show you. This is the knife. If you want the best knife out there that you can do anything with and will keep an edge, this is it. Right there. This company is MSAR, made in the USA, D2 steel. So that's, I believe that's a really hard tool steel. It's called the Curry, anyway, C-U-R-R-A-H-E-E, okay? It is a drop point, tonneau style. It is thick like the Mamu. I mean, this thing is weighty. It's got a great handle. So you can put a lanyard on it. Also has a glass breaker on the back. And has a thumb point to put your thumb. You can baton the hell out of this because of the thickness. This thing is darn near a 1/4 inch thick, just shy of a 1/4 inch. Tough as nails, sharp as ever. I haven't sharpened this thing and used the heck out of it, and it barely even scuffs the paint. So I'll do it like that. Here we go. That's a feature. So again, this is one that won't let you down. It's about that price range of the Mamu, but it's gonna hold an edge. I promise you that. So anyway, that's it. I know I'm a little out of breath from running around. I kind of have a little lung thing, but that's okay. We're working on that in Prepper Fit. You know that. So that's it as far as the knives go. That was part 2. Thank you for hanging around. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Down in the comments, put any comments you have, any questions you have, any suggestions you have, and be sure to always be safe, secure, and aware of your surroundings, as well as being prepared for anything that may come your way. And you guys all know I care about you and hope you're all well. Until next time. And tell John about that knife. He's going to want one. I'll see y'all later.